I am so freaking exhausted because I just spent the last couple of hours like a completely crazy person overhauling my complete Instagram. Like I did everything new, and in this video I want to share with you exactly why I did it and how I did it so that you can benefit from it. All right, before we jump in, let's quickly go into the room. My name is Evelyn Weiss. If we haven't met before, I've built my online business to over 8 million in sales, over 33,000 paid subscribers, 60,000 customers, only 59 of them high ticket, and over the weekend, I was in Los Angeles. So I was invited to speak at an event which was the School Games winners event for the Q1. What is School and School Games? Basically, School is a membership platform, and people have paid communities on there, and the games is whoever can make the most monthly recurring revenue, sustained minus churn, in a quarter across their top categories gets invited to this event and gets, a trophy. I also got a trophy in the past, right? I played the first events, and so basically I was speaking at that event. I'm originally from Austria. I flew there to Los Angeles, took 18 hours one direction, had my talk, quickly chatted with some winners, and then came back to be able to spend Easter with my son. But that event was so worth it, not only because great contacts, potential mastermind members, etc., but also because I had a conversation with one lady there who has her own school community, and she revealed her way basically of getting members. And so her way of getting members was just blowing my mind, and I realized instantly how much money I'm leaving on the table and that I have a big fat hole in my funnel that is costing me every single day. Her way of getting clients for her community is whenever somebody follows her on Instagram, she reaches out in a DM asking them what they look for. They start a conversation, and if they're a good fit, they get invited into the community. When I was hearing that, I was like, oh my goodness, my mind is literally blown because I'm getting many high quality Instagram followers daily. And the reason how I know is when I see a follower, I see the check mark, I check out their profile, they have thousands of, followers, they have great content there. And then I never do anything with it. So my Instagram, just for you to understand, before I went into my Manic episode today, I've not posted properly like the full summer, basically just private pictures. Of course, when there were highlights, like I was at a school event or I interviewed Leila Hormozi for my podcast, or I got interviewed for a podcast, I would share that, or I participated in Hormozi's 100 and came fourth with 247,000 in additional monthly recurring revenue in 90 days. I would post that, but mostly it was private things, right? Like my sister-in-law's wedding. Then I tried for a while to have more content here until I went to Canada, and basically it's just dropped the ball again. And then this is like full March is free posts. And then this was on the 11th of April, and now it is the 24th of April. I only had two icons here. It was just school games and about my mastermind, so that nothing was optimized, right? So basically, there are all these amazing people following me every single day, and I do absolutely nothing with them. And the reason why this was also itching me so much was because this is literally perfectly tying into the school funnel that I have right now. So the school funnel that I have right now, and we have this in a video that's called the content lie that keeps 99% stuck. The school funnel that I have is a Facebook lead generation campaign, advertising a free workshop. It goes 3 weeks of the month to the replay of the last workshop where it invites them to the next workshop, and then 1 week to just the upcoming workshop. Then I have the workshop live every month, and then I'm opening the doors to my community, and you can see then the sales, they're just coming in, coming in, coming in. So this is what's happening today. And basically the way that this works is, why do I even get so many high quality followers if I'm not producing any high quality content? The reason is because of those ads, right? So people see my ads, they click through and they see, is this a real person? And then they follow me, but then they never see anything from me again. I also updated the highlights, which I want to show you in a second when I talk about exactly what I did. I updated the highlights, right? So I only had my monthly recurring revenue journey on school and the mastermind. I didn't even have one for my low ticket community, nothing. So I created a highlight and I went back through my stories. And can you believe it? I couldn't even find a single story in the last half year where I talked about my school community. I have shared the 100 because it was relevant, then a workshop that I did, and then when I spoke there, but none of this is actually directly talking about my community, right? And so the more I was looking at my Instagram, the more I was like, oh my goodness, right? There's this hole in my funnel because I'm getting, daily people following me. I never reach out to them. They never see a story of mine again that has anything to do with my community. I'm not sharing content. So basically, there's this huge opportunity that is making this participant in the games like thousands of monthly recurring revenue. I'm just having that traffic free, and I just let it there completely bare. So I was like, okay, it needs to change. I need to take care of this. And now I want to share with you exactly what I did to take care of it. Because I'm an action taker. Like when I know something needs to happen, it needs to happen. And this is my manic execution episode. So I did all of this in a couple of hours today. So this was the rescue mission, rescuing my Instagram profile so I don't leak a ton of money in my funnel. First, I addressed the look and feel. Okay, so what did I do here? First things first, I actually headed to ChatGPT and I tried to analyze my color type because I was like, I finally want to have a color on Instagram that I can stick with. So I took a picture of myself, a selfie in front of the mirror, and I said, can you please let me know what color type I am? And it analyzed me. And after that, I said, hey, please give me an image palette, right? So now I knew, okay, all of these are in harmony with my hair and skin, right? So when I post like brand images of myself, it will look nice, right? So that was the first kind of hypothesis, like how do I get to my color scheme? So I did that. Then I let it make a few different variations until I landed with this, which I really liked, like with those darker colors integrated with the lighter colors. And then I basically took it from there to Canva. The next thing that I did in Canva was to come and find a generic template that I really liked, right? And here you see all the way back down after all of this work, the basic template that I picked, which was a free Canva template, looked like this, right? So I was like, okay, I'm grabbing this. And maybe this already was a little bit modified. So I want to show you kind of the full original. This was the full original that I picked because I also wanted to have a template that's super easy to fill. Look, I know myself now. I cannot fiddle around with it too much. I need to get it out of my head and I need to get it created. And if it's too much nitty-gritty design work, I will ditch it because I have literally so many other things that I need to do in my day that I cannot spend too much time on it. So I decided a simple choice, something that would work with all my colors. And then basically I uploaded next a screenshot of this and I picked, like a circle, and I made a few circles here. And then you can just create your color palette by picking the colors from in here, right? So now this is the color palette. So I basically then used this to style like the first variation, and then I duplicated it because I wanted to see like how does it look next to each other, right? And then how does it look in a free grid? And I was pretty happy with that. So I was like, good enough. We need to get stuff done here. And I just ran with it. So the next thing that I created from this was the highlights, right? So once I had my color scheme here, my idea, I went and I created those highlights. So again, I would just go to Canva and I would just type in Instagram highlight covers. And I think these were the ones that I picked. I just said customize. And then I just pulled over the color palette that I had made and the fonts from here. And I just started to color them. And then I just brought the fonts over like so. And I did this for all of the highlight categories. So how did I decide on the highlight categories? Basically, from my past, when I just stopped dropping the ball completely, I know that what worked best would be to always have my offers in there, to always have something personalized in there, and to always have proof in there, right? So here I have proof, I have my offers, my two paid ones, my membership and my mastermind. I have a free offer, which is my YouTube channel, and then I have my life. That basically is it, and I don't need more. So once I had created the highlights on the laptop, on my computer, I just went in there and then I downloaded it. And then once they're downloaded, you can just come to Instagram and you can go click on an eye highlight, edit cover, and then you can click here and then you see you can edit the cover and done, right? And in order to create a new highlight, all you have to do is come here and then create a new highlight. And this is where you also pick basically from your past stories. And this is really where I had absolutely nothing meaningful in there. So it also really gave me that sense of awareness, like you have been neglecting your stories and you need to take action on that. Now, after I had those defined and those done, I needed to redo my pinned posts, right? So on top here, you can pin your posts, of course, right? Everybody knows this, but I'm just not doing it. And so I decided to have an introduction of myself and then an introduction of my two main offers. So basically, I took this picture from me speaking because proof, right? I basically paired it with the bullet points from my journey. This is actually coming directly from the presentation that I gave there, which, we started with proof, promise, path, and then I just took the things that I already had, creating something like this for yourself, where you just have a bullet point, like all of your achievements, and a big bit blurb about you. That's always great to have. So I was actually able to create this relatively quickly, just pulling it out from the presentation. The same with the pictures, right? With my son, with Alex and Sam, when I got interviewed, when I had my mastermind, all of the screenshots of the monthly recurring revenue, and then also the revenue from Stripe. Now, one thing that's really cool, and we need to blur the name, 57 minutes. I posted this 2 hours ago. And 1 hour later, somebody replied, I want to apply for your mastermind. And I was like, oh God, I could have done this the whole last year, right? So, this works. And it's crazy to me that I just didn't do it before. And then I also have chat just very clear, just send me a message if you want to work with me, right? Just letting people know that you're open for business. So, so dumb. I'm so dumb, actually, for doing this. The second post that I made was about the mastermind, right? So I've grown. This is my journey, what most people know me for and what they appreciate me for in the mastermind, right? So really speaking to that ideal mastermind client as in what they're looking for. I basically shared the distinct mix of experience and skill set that I bring to the table, and then who is in the mastermind, because that's always really important. And then again, the call to send me a message. And then here I have all of these things, right? But I'm hiding them.
I invited some of the best digital entrepreneurs and membership owners to a private mastermind in Vienna, and here's what happened.
I basically just uploaded the mastermind video from the last event in here as the last slide. And basically that's it. Now, I also did that for Grow with Evelyn for my $99 per month community. And here I said I'm working with 2,000 plus members inside my membership daily. If the mastermind is not right for you, this might be right for you, right? Because of what it is, what you get. And then I showed the members map, which if you have a school community, this is so cool that you can actually visualize how many members you have in the world. And then I just recently got beautiful feedback after the last workshop. I asked my members if they can give me an update on their experience. And I just shared these experiences as well as the VSL that's on the about page of my school, where I show members exactly what's inside, right? So why not carry this to the front? Those were the pinned posts that I made next, just already in this new color scheme. And again, I paid attention to laying it out in a way that I can really quickly copy and paste it. And that came really easy to me. Now, how did I get to the text so fast? I basically went to Loom and I just recorded myself. And here you can see where this is starting here. So I just gave a rundown, what are people looking for in the mastermind? Right, so here you can see the transcript. So this is my journey and this is what people are looking for. Why are they working with me? And I just pulled this transcript and I headed back to ChatGPT. And that's how I got from recording myself just talking this is what it needs to roughly say, to having that structured post. Now I did the same also for Grow with Evelyn. I took the transcript of the video that's on my about page and talks about what's inside, and I let it write the summary from that. So that went really, really quickly. And that's how I got to the content of those posts. And then I just pulled them over. Now, one thing to pay attention to, you just need to export these pages as video pages, and then you can upload them into the carousel as well, right? So I think it's really cool when we are mixing images with the texts and with the videos. Okay, now, then I had the next phase fulfilled, which is the pinned posts, right? With the introduction, with Grow with Evelyn, and with Scale with Evelyn, and of course the highlights we already have also done. Now I just needed to create the content for the week. And now here's my promise, my content for the week. I need to do at least one carousel post and one reel. I had a call with one of my business partners, so I literally just had 20 minutes to get both of these pieces of content done, and I was able to get it done. The first piece that I produced was this one here. I flew 18 hours to LA and back in one weekend. Here's what I didn't expect to learn. I'm so mad with myself. I posted this 1 hour ago and people are already leaving beautiful comments, and we're already connecting. And I'm like, why not do it, right? So now I have to do it because I'm also making this video, and then I'll feel embarrassed if I tell you I keep posting and then I don't do it. So this is a trick, by the way. Create forcing functions for yourself. This is a forcing function for myself. I need to do this, okay? Again, I just did my Loom thing. I just headed to Loom without, yet knowing the exact post structure or anything. I was just, okay, what are my insights? And here you can see from the transcript, okay, so Easter weekend, I flew there. There was little to no prep. What did I learn? What was unexpected? And this is really the first time I reflected on this. And I myself was surprised, like when it came out of me, I was like, that's pretty cool learning, right? So this is actually what changed inside of me, but I'm now verbalizing it. So I'm again also reminded about the value of just creating this content. And I'm doing this for my newsletter anyways, right? So I can just repurpose the recordings that I'm doing for my newsletter also into these weekly posts. I then took the transcript, headed back to ChatGPT. All I said was, okay, please turn this into a carousel post. So it took the whole ramble, and then it was like, absolutely, I'd break this down into a carousel post, clear, engaging, story driven. And then it came up with, I flew 18 hours to LA and back in 1 weekend. That was actually, I think, a pretty good hook. And here you can see the rest of the slides is pretty aligned with what I actually posted, and it got the gist of what I wanted to say. So it's also getting better and better every time. And then from here, I just didn't like the end. So I let it give me a few different final options. And then I really loved not easy, not convenient, still fun and worth it, make the effort, enjoy the ride. I felt that was ending on such a nice high note. And then I created the post, and I decided that I want to make the carousels a bit more engaging. So I just inverted the colors, which is like easy enough to do, right? I want to have things that have an effect, but that are easy enough to do. Because I really want to make it as easy as possible for me to be consistent, as little friction as possible, basically. Then I just did one with the white background because I was also in my color scheme, shared my unexpected lessons, and then at the end, again, added a picture of myself just for the proof. Once I had that carousel, I went into a second one, and I said, please caption my carousel. So I put the carousel in here and the full transcript in here. And that's when it wrote the first caption. A little bit softer. It was also fun. So it was like kind of going into hustle. And then I found the prompt that was working the best. We don't want to repeat what's in the carousel. We want to have like a summary and a call to read it. And that was perfect, right? So now I know for the future how I'm going to prompt it is make a summary of what's said and make a call to read it. So I was really happy with that. There was nothing I wanted to change about this, and I posted it, and as you can see, it already sparked engagement. So awesome, right? I'll do more of that. You can do more of that. So once I had that, I was like, okay, I can do another thing with this. So while I was typing that post, and again, I told you I'm a maniac. Like I get into those episodes and then I just need to get stuff done. While I recorded this, I went in with the camera and I just filmed myself while I was talking through the experience so I can create the content for the carousel, right? So I was doing double work. I was filming myself doing the work, creating B-roll to do more of the work. And then basically I had that as the base. I went again to Canva, create reel, Instagram reel, and then I just uploaded this from my phone into here. And then I actually added like a layer on top of it. And then I realized once I was posting this on Instagram, it's completely unnecessary. So I basically stripped that again, which was probably like a 5 to 10 minute tangent that I could have used for something else. And then I went into just uploading the reel directly into Instagram. And then from there, I just went into reel. I just uploaded the longer one, and then I trimmed it to a reasonable length. And then I basically just added the text and added the audio. You know how to do this, right? So I had from ChatGPT just copied it over into a document, and maybe I need to show you also how I came to the document then. So this was the caption. In here, I had multiple chats open parallel. So in here, after I had the carousel posts done, basically with the different end that I liked, I went again into Loom, and that's when I recorded myself doing this. I recorded myself recording, basically. Took the transcript and had it here. Now I want to write a caption for a B-roll reel based on what I shared in a previous recording and now here. The angle is people are afraid to make an effort. Think of 3 hook suggestions, then write the caption that goes with it. The hooks are on what's on the video. Right, so I put it here. It gave me a few different hooks and a caption. I didn't really like the caption, so I shaped it a little bit more because I knew it was not in a viral format. Again, like shout out to my friend Evita Social. I learned so much about viral reels from her. I'm learning a lot about Instagram from her. And I just knew, like, when I was reading this, oh yeah, she would be like, not right. So I was like, okay, it needs to have more intrigue. It needs to be shorter. So not intriguing enough, more relatable, more polarizing. And then in there, I found finally one that was, you're waiting for proof before you move. And I noted something that Alex Ramosi said. It was like, look for the melodies. And so I really resonated with that. And so I picked still waiting for proof before you move, read this. And then I said, okay, I'm doing this. And then it also tweaked the caption to it. And I think the caption turned out perfectly. So I took it and I put it into a Google Doc. And then from my phone, I'm able to access my Google Docs. And this is where I basically pulled the caption from. And to make it easier for myself, I just separated what I have on the video with what goes in the caption. Basically just copied that and then put the text over here. I mean, you see by the way me doing this that I'm not doing this very often. And then I took the second text piece and I just did a different font. And this is also something that I know from my friend Evita. Is like, before you do nothing, you can always do a B-roll reel. And I'm really taking this to heart now, making it long enough and adding the audio. And then basically you're next and you add your text here and then you can upload a cover. I also went into the living room and I just took a selfie and uploaded it to Lightroom. I use Adobe Lightroom and I do have these light and airy filters. So I basically just put a clean filter over it. I've been using this on my Instagram for years and I just like how it looks. And then I posted it. So now I'm pretty much done with the content for the first week over here. I will do my best to immediately reach out to that person that is interested in my mastermind. And I talk to the team and we will start to DM people who are following us, right? And if you're checking out the waitlist video, I am not somebody who is selling in DMs, right? It's basically what we're doing is an extended customer service, right? We're reaching out, we're seeing if there's a need. We don't do any pressure. We just provide resources and answer questions and give feedback. So that's easy enough to do. But now we also have a proper setup to do this. So I'll keep posting and I'll make sure that everybody who follows us, that the team sends, a kind welcome message, just like we do when they join the waitlist for school, right? So it's just like, hey, we saw you joined the waitlist. What are you looking for? Hey, we saw you followed, right? What are you looking for? Anything we can help you with, any questions you have, any resources we can provide. And now people also know when they land on my profile, what is this lady actually selling? Right, so this was about damn time. I'm so glad I was flying to that event. The bottom line of this video is it's always worth the effort. And when you see need, just take action, right? This didn't really fit into my day. I'm jumping into more video feedbacks. I'm having a mastermind call in the night, but when you see something needs to happen, I'm extremely quick to take action on these things and I don't let my perfectionism hold me back. I was able to do this in 2 hours. Obviously, I'm really, really quick with AI. If you use it in a similar way, you first find your colors, you then find a template that you like. You don't overthink the design. You use looms, strip the transcript, work with ChatGPT to really get out what you want to say, and then make sure you're posting. I think that's really good. And, this applies kind of across all of the areas in business. And I hope I also gave you a little bit of permission showing you that I'm not perfect either. But when we see an opportunity, it's worth taking it. And for me, it always has been worth the effort. And even if, this is not the top secret that supercharges my funnel, although I'm like really, really hopeful because of what I heard, right? And just that I see it already working for my waitlist. Even if it doesn't do that, I already made more meaningful touch points and I already created a better experience when people are coming to the account. So put in the effort, make space for it. Even if you have to be a little bit a maniac about it, don't overthink it. Don't let perfectionism hold you back. Just take the action. And I hope you found this insightful. Thank you so much.